Recording in progress. So yes, yesterday we were talking about the kind of last topic of the day 7, and the last topic of day 7 was all about hash code method, or practically it was actually all about object class in Java programming. Yesterday when we were talking about the object class, then initially, as I had already told you, that object class is parent class of all classes in Java programming. Yes, it is parent class of all classes in Java programming. Because it is parent class of all classes in Java programming, so accordingly, whatever method it is having, definitely all the methods are available in all the subclasses also, or you can say that method of the object class, they are available to all the classes already. It will be good to take one example, and from the example, actually will be good to revise the thing. So better to continue with the example that we have done yesterday. So you can see that I have created one object of class mobile price. Mobile price MP1 equal to new mobile price 10,000, 5.0, 5.0 and 3.0 is available here. One of the method that I told you was, name of the method was get class method. Such that if I'm talking about this get class method, then the get class method is returning object of class. The get class method is returning object of class. And if I'm talking about this class, then in the class there is a method available. The name of the method is called get name method. So overall the thing is that if an object is available to you, and using this object, if you wanted to get name of the class, then there is a simple syntax that you need to write down. The syntax is going to be object name dot get class dot get name is what you can call. What it will give you? It will give you fully qualified name of the class. As you can already see in the output, that the output is com.masai.aspirant2.mobile price is what we are having. So by looking at this, definitely it is very easy to understand that, sir, if we are talking about mp1.getClass.getName, this is going to give us name of the class, such that get class method is actually coming from the object class. The get class method is actually coming from the object class. Similar to that, if you wanted to get name of the superclass, then definitely there is one more method available. The name of the method is called get superclass method. One more method is available. The name of the method is called get superclass method. And then again, if you are calling the get name method, then definitely you can call the get name method. So if I'm talking about the superclass of MP1, that is the mobile price class. So you can say that the superclass of mobile price class is object class. So can you see from the second syntax, actually we can verify that object class is parent class of MP1 class. Object class is parent class of mobile price class. Yes or no? Please check. Getting or not, everyone? Both the things are done here. Let us talk about some more method. Actually, before this, it will be good to talk about one more thing. You can see that we are writing mobile price MP1 equal to new mobile price. One thing is available 10,000, 5.0, 5.0, 3.0. When the syntax is going to be executed, so first of all, memory will be occupied into the heap. And definitely in heap is a part of RAM. In RAM, every memory location is having unique physical address that is actually very difficult to deal with. And if I'm talking about the physical memory address, then definitely physical memory address is a kind of sensitive information. And because it is a sensitive information, so definitely it is better not to expose this information to anyone. So what exactly Java is doing? Java actually never provides us physical memory address directly. Java always does one thing. Whatever be the physical memory address of this object is, on this physical memory address, hash function is applied. And once the hash function is applied, then we are going to get an integer value such that this integer value is called hash code. Conversion of physical memory address to integer value, or conversion of integer value to physical memory address, this is something that is done by JVM. So definitely we cannot actually recover physical address from the hash code or vice versa. Whatever hash code is generated, actually this hash code is written by a new keyword. Whatever hash code is generated, actually this hash code is written by written by new keyword, and the reference variable is used to store the same hash code. So if I'm writing system.out.println mp1.hash code, then definitely you will come to know that, sir, we are getting one output. Let me save this code and running it again. So you can see that this number 1239731077, this is hash code of the object. This is hash code of this object. And how exactly hash code is computed? Hash code is computed on the behalf of memory location. From hash code, can we cover physical address? No. If one physical address is available, can we find hash code? No. Why? Because everything is confidential to the JVM. We cannot make any, you can say that, anything in that. So what is the use of hash code and how exactly hash code is computed? Is that point clear? This is the next method of object class. Next points, next points, next points. Today I am having strength 92, 93, but number of people who are responding is in single digit, less than 5, 1 or 2. If you face problem, then write here. Otherwise, you can respond on chat. Such kind of lame response is not appreciated. See here one thing. If I'm talking about the next example, then into the next example, you can see one thing, that mobile price MP2 equal to new mobile price. We are writing 12,000, 5.0, 5.0, 3.0. Then we are writing mobile price MP3 equal to MP2. Mobile price MP3 equal to MP2. So see, if I'm talking about the line number 12 and line number 13, then by looking at line number 12 and 13, can we say that the same object is being pointed by two different reference variables? Yes or no? Yes, it is. If the same object is being pointed by two reference variable, so can we say that both the reference variables are pointing to same memory location? Yes or no? Yes, it is. And definitely, if they are pointing to same memory location, then can we say one simple thing, that, sir, because they are pointing to same memory location, so definitely hash code for both the reference variable will be same, or actually both the reference variables are actually having same hash code. Can we say this thing? Yes, it is. According to this principle, look at the highlighted output. If I'm talking about the mp2.hash code, then it is writing value 5570419112. If we are writing mp3.hash code, then it is providing the value 5570419112. So hash code is actually stored by the reference variable. So far in all the example, whenever I was talking to you about identifier of a memory location or identifier of an object, so identifier of the object was basically hash code. It was basically hash code. So if you wanted to get hash code of any object, then you need to use hash code method, such that hash code is going to be an integer value. Clear, everyone? Yes, it is. Now I'm proceeding to next method, and name of the next method is called toString method. Name of the next method is actually toString method. One of the scholar is asking, sir, where we will use this hash code? So I will say that mainly hash code is used to arrange elements into the collection framework. For example, we are talking about arranging the elements into a set. If we are talking about arranging the elements into map, then actually there it is used into the fourth week, sprint 4. We will talk about how exactly hash code is used to store the elements into the collection framework. So till that time period, you have to wait. But this is extremely important concept whenever you are going to appear in Java interview. So 99.99% chances are there that they will talk to you about the equals method, hash code method. This is kind of very, very common question it is. Going to next section. Next method that we are having is actually toString method. Next method that we are having is toString method. So if I'm talking about the toString method, so listen very, very carefully. The toString method is used to provide a string representation of an object. Point number 1. The toString method is used to provide a string representation of an object, such that if I'm talking about the default string representation, then the default string representation is fully qualified class name, thereafter @ symbol, and after @ symbol, there will be hash code in hexadecimal format. Thereafter, it's going to be hash code in hexadecimal format. Look at the chat message again. If I'm talking about the default implementation of the toString method, or if I'm talking about the default string presentation that is provided by toString method, then it is FQCN, means fully qualified class name. After fully qualified class name, there will be @ symbol, and then next thing is going to be hash code in hexadecimal format. Thereafter, it is going to be hash code in hexadecimal format. Let me do one more thing. See, first point, I told you that toString method is used to provide a string representation of an object. Second point, whenever you are passing an object to system.out.println, or whenever an object is concatenated to the string. Remember the two conditions. First condition, when an object is passed to system.out.println. Second situation, when the object is concatenated with any string, then toString method is called implicitly. ToString method is called implicitly. Now focus on the line. If I'm writing system.out.println mp1, and if I'm writing line number 18, that is system.out.println mp1.toString. So just by looking at this output, can you see that we are getting 100% same output? So can we say when I'm passing an object to system.out.println, then its toString method is called implicitly. Is that point clear? Yes, it is. Let us take one more example, and into one more example, let's say if I'm writing here that is system.out.println, into the system.out.println, we are writing that the mp1 is plus mp1. This is the one thing that we are writing, and hereafter I am writing here that is mp1.toString. So let me try to run this example again. We are running the Java application. So can you see that the mp1 is 1, the mp1 is second output. So again, by looking at all the four output, can we say that when an object is concatenated to the string, then again toString method is called implicitly? Please check and confirm, yes or no. So overall, so far we have come across three methods of the object class. The first method of the object class is getClass method. The second method of the object class is hashCode method, and the third method of the object class is actually simple your toString method. So far we are having all the default implementations. Right now I am talking about default implementation only, but today itself we will talk about overriding them also. Don't worry. Today itself we will talk about overriding them also, so you don't need to worry about the same. Now listen, if I'm talking about the hash code, yes, there is one good question. One scholar is asking, sir, is different PC in different PCs, will this hash code be different? So simple answer, see, if you are executing a program, when you are executing a program, then program is going to occupy space into the memory. It turns into a process, and the space that it occupies into the memory is called address space. In the address space area, stack will be there, heap will be there, meta space will be there, method area will be there. Now simple question, if or can it be at the different locations? I am stuck. 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. I think now audio video signals are better. Yes or no? Now okay, yes. Actually, I got message also. Okay. Once again, I am repeating. What is simple location? Simple thing I am asking. If you are executing a same program for the 10 times, if you are executing the same program for the 10 times, then can you guarantee that all the 10 time address space will occupy same memory locations, or memory location can be same for can be different for every execution? Getting my point? If memory address or if the address space can be available at the different location, so definitely object can be created at different memory locations. Yes or no? Object can be created at different memory locations. If object can be created at different memory location, then may be possible your generated hash code may be different for each execution. Clear, everyone? Hash code is not a constant value. Hash code is going to be maybe different for every execution. It is depending on what memory location exactly your object is getting created. Okay, let me go for the next part. See here. I'm talking about the final method. The final method is actually called the equals method of the object class. The final method is called equals method of the object class. So how exactly equals method is working? Just try to understand the point very clearly. If I'm talking about the equals method, it is used to check equality of the calling object. It is used to check equality of the calling object to the parameter object, such that by default actually it uses comparison operator to check for the equality. Means if calling reference variable and parameter reference variable point to same object, then it will return true, false otherwise. Then it will return true, false otherwise. Now just try to understand this point. For your convenience, the same thing I have already pasted on chat also. First point that I'm asking, let's say I'm making one minor change. If I'm talking about the object MP1, if I'm talking about object MP1, then can you say one very simple thing? That's for the object MP1. If we are talking about the purchase cost is 10,000. CGST, SGST is 5.5%. And if we are talking about the profit percentage, it is 3.0. Now let's say if I'm talking about the MP2, question number 1. If I'm talking about the MP1 and MP2, do they are pointing to same object or they are pointing to different object? They are pointing to different object. If I'm talking about the MP2 and MP3, they are pointing to same object or different object? Same. MP2 and MP3, they are pointing to same object. Now listen how exactly the calculation is working. Simple thing I am writing. If I'm writing MP2 equal to MP3. So can you say that sir MP2 and MP3 they are pointing to same object? Because they are pointing to same object means they are pointing to same memory location. So answer is going to be true. Yes or no? Answer is going to be true. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. This is first concept that you and me come across. Now going to the next section. Now going to the next section. If I'm writing that MP1 equal to MP2, if we are writing MP1 equal to MP2, so see, listen to me very carefully. MP1 and MP2, they are pointing to different object. So definitely they are pointing to different memory locations. Because they are pointing to different memory location, so definitely answer is going to be false. Getting my point? You can check. First answer is true and second answer is false. Is that okay, everyone? Now what I'm writing, double equal to actually checks if both references point to same memory location or not. Clear, everybody? What is the behavior of comparison operator is? Comparison operator never matches the content. Comparison operator just check for the memory location. If two objects are there such that their actually content is 100% same, it doesn't make any difference for comparison operator, because comparison operator says I never look for the content. I always used to look for the memory location. So right now you can see it very carefully. Right now you can see it very carefully that sir, if we are talking about the MP1 and MP2, then for the MP1 and MP2 definitely sir content is same, but because they are two different objects, that's why output for MP1 equal to MP2 is false, no matter whether their content is same or different. And definitely output for MP2 equal to MP3 is always going to be same, always going to be true, because they are pointing to same memory location. Now if I'm talking about the equals method, if I am talking about the equals method, then listen about the equals method, how exactly equals method is working. Just one very simple thing that I'm going to give you. So if we are talking about the equals method, equals is using comparison to check for equality. It is using comparison operator to check for equality. So according to this principle, definitely if you are writing system.out.println, if we write mp2 dot equals mp3, then definitely answer is going to be true. On the same track, if we are writing that mp1 dot equals mp2, then definitely output is going to be false, because behind the scene it is very easy to notice that sir actually by default implementation uses comparison operator. Because the default implementation uses comparison operator, so accordingly it is very easy to say that sir whether we are writing comparison using line number 11 simple double equal to operator, or we are using the equals method. In both the situation, answer is going to be same. Yes or no? Clear? Okay. So four methods so far we have discussed. So far we have discussed four methods. One of the method that we have discussed is the get class method. Second method we have discussed is the get hash code method. Third is the toString method, and second is the equals method. Now listen one thing very clearly. The thing is that everybody, so far, if I'm talking about the get class method, then definitely get class method is the final method, so we cannot override. Yes or no? Get class method is the final method and we cannot override a final method. Yes or no? Yesterday we have discussed this thing. Good. If I'm talking about the hash code method, then definitely normally it looks like there's a hash code method we are not very much interested to override, because whatever it is working, let it be. Seems okay, but actually not. We will talk about this thing later in the case. If I'm talking about the equals method, then definitely equals method is internally using comparison operator to check. Maybe you are not satisfied with this behavior. So can I say that existing functionality of the equals method that is available into the object class, we are not happy with it, but we are having concept of method overriding. So in the subclass, if required, we can override hash code method, equals method, and toString method. All the three methods can be override according to our demand, because may be possible we are not happy with their default implementation that is provided by super class. Clear everyone? So far our knowledge is all about their default behavior. Definitely we will discuss about overriding them, but keep in mind you cannot override get class method. Getting my point? Yes, it is. So actually we are continuing in the same topic, inheritance. Then going to further methods. Yes, further methods are also available. So these methods are actually, you can say that kind of not in the context of J8111. But if I'm talking about the method notify all, wait, these methods you will discuss in SV101. Clone method you will also find. And finalize method is kind of counterpart of destructor, counterpart of constructor. But overall, initially my discussion is limited to first four methods. So now I'm starting content for day number 8, or you can say particularly the content that actually I have designed for today. See, one thing, or the first topic that we are having is superclass, reference variable, and child class object. This is the first topic that we have is superclass, reference variable, and child class object. Before actually talking about overriding, it is good to talk about some of the topics like superclass, reference variable, child class object. Then we will talk about runtime polymorphism. Then some miscellaneous topics, instance of operator, upcasting, downcasting, and then ultimately we will come to overriding method of object class. So few pointers are there that we have to discuss already in advance, and this class is extremely important from your interview point of view. You can take into the written from my side at least one or two questions in your final interview you will find from this class. You can take it into the written, so you can assume that how important this class is. Please maintain your focus in the class. Okay, simple point that I'm saying you. Whenever I am creating object of a subclass, then object of subclass itself is an object of superclass. Yes or no? Simple logic. An object of subclass is always an object of superclass. So let me take a very simple example. And from the simple example, we will try to understand the things. From this simple example, we will try to understand the things. So for example, let's say there is a class available. The name of the class we are writing is public integer A. There is one variable available, integer I. One variable is available, integer J. Then I'm talking about method. Let's say I'm writing the name of the method, that is set A method. Integer I is there, integer J is there. Thereafter, we are writing this dot I equal to I, because local variable and instance variable, they enjoy the same name. Then we are mentioning this dot J equal to J. Into the show method, it will be good to talk about again same thing. So we are writing here system.out.println. Into the system.out.println, we are writing I equal to plus I. Then we are mentioning J equal to plus J. So right now, if I'm talking about this class, then definitely class A is having two instance variables and two methods? Yes or no? Class A is having two instance variables and two methods. Yes or no? Okay, that's good. Then coming to the next class. So, well, I'm closing remaining classes because lot of classes are opened here, lot of files are opened here. Unnecessary making the Eclipse heavy is not a good choice. Closing some of the files. Done and done and done. Okay. Now I'm talking about the next file. The next file that I'm calling is class B extends A. Into the class B extends A, we are creating one more method. Name of the method that I'm writing is variable k. Then we are talking about one more method. Name of the method, let's say I'm writing set b. Into the set b, again we are writing integer k. Then we are writing this dot k equal to k. After writing this dot k equal to k, then I'm talking about one more method. Name of the method that I'm writing is, let's say, show b is the name of the method that I'm writing. And into this method, we are writing I equal to plus I. We are writing I equal to plus I. So see, class A is available. In the class A, we are having ij two variables, set A, show A, two methods. Into the class B, we are having set B and show B, and one variable is available. So practically, if I'm talking about class B, can I say that class B is having three variables and four methods? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. Now I'm doing one more thing. Let me open the file that is demo.java. Into the file demo.java, let me go one by one. Okay, simple thing. If I'm writing, let's say I'm creating the object of the subclass. Let's say I'm creating the object of subclass. If I'm writing b small b equal to new capital B, then memory for 12 bytes will be occupied because it is containing three integers. Yes or no? Yes, it is. That's great. That's great. That's great. Okay. On the same track, if I'm saying that I'm creating the object of the superclass, if I'm talking about creating the object of the superclass, then can you say that this time that actually the memory for total 8 bytes will be occupied? Yes or no? That's good. That's good. That's good. Now using the A, can I call set A method? Yes, we can call set A method because sir, set A method is a method of superclass. Similar to that, if I'm talking about the show A method, can we call? Yes, we can call, sir, no problem. No problem. Okay. Let me go for one more thing. This time, if I'm talking about the one more case, I'm creating the object of class B. Using the object of class B, can I call the method set A? Yes, because whatever method of the superclass, they are available to subclass also. Is that clear, everyone? Can I call set B method also? Yes, because set B is a method of itself. So we are writing the value, let's say 300 here. Can we call the show A method? Yes, we can call the show A method. Can we call the show B method? Yes, we can call the show B method. System.out.println. Till that, there is nothing special. Okay. Now simple thing. If I'm talking about the object of class B, then can I say that object of class B is an object of class A? Can we say that object of class B is an object of class A? Yes, it is. Because object of class B is having all the attributes that object of class A is having. Yes or no? Object of class B is having all the attributes that object of class A is having. According to this principle, listen to me very, very carefully. See, an object of superclass, an object of subclass has everything that an object of subclass has. An object of subclass, an object of subclass has everything that an object of superclass has. So object of subclass can be considered as an object of superclass. 100% clear. 100% clear. Now going to the next section. The next point is that a reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class, but using that reference variable, we can access only those members that are defined in superclass because reference variable of superclass do not have any knowledge about the member defined in subclass. Once I request all of you, please read this line very, very carefully. Once I request all of you, please read this line very, very carefully. Initially, actually, we will talk about this line, then we will talk about its purpose also. Done? That's good. So according to this principle, let me make it full screen. And according to this principle, let me write down one simple thing. If I'm writing here that is A1 equal to new capital B. So can you see that there is a reference variable of class A, but if I'm talking about object is of class B, syntax is working perfectly okay. Yes or no? Syntax is working perfectly okay. So the line that we have read that a reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class, this line is 100% okay. This line is 100% okay. One more thing, using this A1, can we access the method of superclass? Definitely yes. Can we access the method of the superclass? Definitely yes. Can I call the show A method? Yes. But using this reference variable, can I call the method of class B? No. Can you see that there is directly error available? Because we have already seen that using the reference variable of superclass, we can access only those members that are defined in superclass. You cannot access those members that are defined in subclass, because superclass reference variable does not have any knowledge about the member of subclass. Is that point clear, everyone? Yes, it is. What is the use? That we will talk later. But initially, just try to understand the concept. Initially, just try to understand the concept. Now, actually, we are talking about the next part and inverting the situation. Inverting the situation. See, in the line number 22, in the line number 22, just try to understand. Reference variable is of class A1. Reference variable of class A1 is pointing to object of class B. Why it is able to point? Because object of class B has everything what object of class A can have. Yes or no? Object of class B has everything that object of class A have. So definitely if the reference variable A1 is pointing to object of class B, so it is able to find out everything. It is able to find out everything in the class B. Is that clear? It is able to find out everything into the object of class B. Yes, it is. But if I'm talking about doing the inversion, if I'm talking about doing the inversion means if I'm writing B small b equal to new capital A. So don't you think that this is not possible? Simple logic, because actually object of reference variable of class B, it will try to find everything in the object of class A, which is not possible. An object of class B contains what object of class A has, but object of class A does not have what object of class B has. So according to this principle, can we say that a reference variable of subclass cannot point to object of superclass? Yes or no? An object of subclass cannot point to object of superclass because members are not available. Because members are not available. So initially this is one of the points that actually we are having. So if I'm talking about this code, then definitely this code is going to be error, because subclass reference variable points to object of superclass. Subclass reference variable points to object of superclass. This is the point that actually we are having. Second point, second point, second point. Now next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing. Here why error? Because super class reference variable not have any knowledge of subclass member. Oh, subclass members. Yes, superclass reference variable does not have any knowledge about subclass members. So well, overall from this example, everyone, this is one concept that we have discussed. This concept is related to next concept also that we are going to discuss shortly. This is what we are going to discuss shortly. 1 second, there is one thing available. But sir, A1 is an object of class B. Why we cannot access? Oh, again, listen, again, listen. Is there any mechanism which can access? Well. Then why B? We are not able to access method set B. It is upcasting, non-casting. Well, so line by line, final repetition for this topic. Final repetition. See, in this line, A1 equal to new capital B. Line number 22. A1 equal to new capital B. First of all, assignment operator is there. New keyword is going to be executed first. Because the new keyword is going to be executed first, then just by looking here, then just by looking here, can I say that sir stack will be there, and apart from the stack heap will be there? Because new B line is going to be executed, so into the new B line, can you say that sir this memory is for I, this memory is for J, and this memory is for K? Yes or no? Just one by one. For new B, total memory of 12 bytes is going to be occupied. Let's say this is the hash code of this memory location, and here, can I say that if I am talking about this highlighted part only, then this highlighted part is actually object of class A? This highlighted part is actually object of class A. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So definitely object of class B is an object of class A. And if I'm talking about the reference variable, then regarding the reference variable, you can see one thing very, very clearly. Regarding the reference variable, you can see one thing very, very clearly, that sir, if we are talking about this reference variable such that the name of the reference variable is A1, then in this condition, such kind of diagram or such kind of thing is going to take place. Yes or no? Please check. Clear, everyone? Why this is happening? Because A1 is looking for only variable I and J, and definitely they are available. Yes or no? Object of class A1 is looking for the variable I and J, and definitely they are available. So that's why it is able to point. So when you are writing, see, if I'm talking about the initial default value, then the initial default value here is going to be 0, 0, and 0. Is that also clear? Because default value is always 0. Okay. When you are calling A1 dot set A 1000, so definitely on this memory location value 1000 will be there. Here value 2000 will be there. And if I'm talking about K, then definitely for the variable K, initial, the default value is 0. If you are writing A1 dot show A, so when you are writing A1 dot show A, then here you will find that the value of I is going to be 1000 and value of variable J is going to be 2000. Is that point clear? Yes, it is. Right now, you just focus on one line, that a reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class. What is the use of this? What is the practical use of this, that we are going to discuss shortly. But first, is it logical that a reference variable can point to object of subclass? Completely logical, everyone? Is it? Do you find it logical that a reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class, but vice versa actually does not hold? But vice versa actually does not hold. Logic is clear. Okay, this was only part that I want from your side for this discussion. This is the only thing. Output is also available in front of you. So one part is done, that a reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class. What is the use of this, that we are going to discuss shortly? What is the use of this? This thing we are going to discuss shortly. Today the date is 31st of December 2022. So I'm pasting this code also, and these codes will be provided to you. Hmm. First, it is better to put some line breaks so I can remember it very, very clearly. Okay. So concept logical is done. So concept logical is done. Size of reference variable is 8 byte. I think this thing I have told you, yes or no? Size of reference variable is 8 byte and size of object is equivalent to whatever data members you are having. Remember, I think this thing I told you multiple times. Well, see, one part is done. Then going to the next concept that is extremely important, and definitely you will find some questions from this. This is actually your topic is runtime polymorphism or dynamic method dispatch or simply late binding. See, did you remember the concept of method overriding? Did you remember the concept of method overriding? Yesterday I told you. Okay, simple question. Method overriding is option number 1, defining new behavior, or option number 2, redefining the existing behavior. 2. Yes. Method overriding is not about creating the new behavior. Method overriding is all about redefining an existing behavior that you know it very well. Okay. So can I say whenever actually you are performing overriding, then you are not adding a new method, but you are redefining a new method? Yes or no? Yes, it is. It is not about actually creating a new method. It is all about redefining the existing behavior. Yes, it is. Now just try to understand and read the line very, very carefully. The point number 1 that actually I am telling you, just check here. Using method overriding, actually we are redefining the behavior of general class into the specialized class, i.e. it is used to define the general behavior of a superclass and subclass according to specialized needs. Same line. Second number point, a reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class, and this reference variable can access methods defined in superclass only. The overridden method is actually defined in superclass and subclass both. So definitely overridden method can be called using reference variable of superclass. Don't you think that it is logical? Using the reference variable of superclass if we are talking about calling of overridden method. So first point, overridden method is not a member of subclass. Practically, it is an redefined member of superclass. Can I say this thing? An overridden method is actually redefined method of superclass. So can I say that whenever you are overriding a method, then about this method, superclass reference variable is already having knowledge? Yes or no? If we are talking about overridden method, then about the overridden method, superclass reference variable is already having knowledge. Now listen, using the reference variable of superclass, if you are talking about calling the overridden method, then there are two conditions. Condition number 1, reference variable is of superclass and object is also of superclass. When reference variable is of superclass, object is also of superclass. So definitely there is no confusion. The version that is defined in superclass will be called. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Again repeating. See, superclass reference variable can point to child class object. Yes. Whenever we are performing method overriding, then we are not defining a new behavior, but we are redefining an existing behavior. So superclass reference variable has. So superclass reference variable has knowledge about the overridden method. Both the points comfortable? Both the points comfortable? Okay. Then point number 3, what I'm saying you, whenever an overridden method is called using whenever an overridden method is called using reference variable of superclass. So two different situations can be possible. Situation number 1, when reference variable is of superclass, object is also of superclass, and definitely in such condition, the version defined in superclass will be called because there is no case of confusion. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Then I'm talking about the situation number 2. If the reference variable is of superclass, but object is of child class. Mind my words. Reference variable is of superclass, but object is of child class. So this time, when subclass is already having the redefined version, so don't you think that version defined in subclass should be called because it is a better and specific version? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. Now, simple. Two things clear to you. If reference variable of superclass is pointing to object of superclass, then version defined in superclass will be called. Situation number 2, if reference variable of superclass is pointing to object of subclass, then version defined in subclass will be called. Both the points are clear to you. Now simple thing I am asking. Object is created at compile time or runtime? Object in Java programming are created at compile time or runtime? Definitely, objects are created at runtime, especially Mr. Shivam Singh. Objects in Java programming are actually created at runtime. So this time can I say that sir, superclass reference variable can point to object of superclass and superclass reference variable can point to object of child class, and object is actually created at runtime. So which version of the overridden method is called? It will be actually decided at runtime because decision is taken on the behalf of object and object is actually created at runtime. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So now finally, last round, I am summarizing again what I told you so far. Listen very, very carefully one by one. Statement by statement I am going on. Statement number one that I am telling you. Whenever we are creating an object of subclass, then object of subclass contains all the members of the superclass. That's why object of subclass is considered as an object of superclass. This is statement number one. Statement number two, a reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class because object of child class has everything what an object of superclass has. Statement number three, whenever you are overriding a method, so actually you are not adding a new method, but you are redefining an existing method such that knowledge about the overridden method is already with the superclass. Point number four, when a superclass reference variable is used to call an overridden method, then two different behavior you will find. Behavior number one, if your superclass reference variable is pointing to object of superclass, then version defined in superclass will be called. On the other hand, if your superclass reference variable is pointing to object of child class, then definitely version defined in child class will be called because it is a specific version or it is a version that is according to the specific demand of the object. Final point, because object creation takes place at the runtime, so your reference variable is pointing to which object it will be available at the runtime. So which method will be called of superclass or subclass? This decision cannot be taken at the compile time. This decision will be taken at the runtime. So can we say this is a form of runtime polymorphism? Yes or no? Clear? So now it will be good to jump on the example because theoretical discussion I have taken to all of you lot of time. Pay attention to the example. In the example also all these things you will find. Right now, if it is 30-40% clear to you, still there is no problem. We are going to take two long examples in this case. We are going to take two long example in the case. Just a minute. See, one simple example that I'm going to write for you. Okay, same example that I talked to you, I think earlier also. Let me create one class. Name of the class that I'm writing is cat. Into the cat class, I'm writing one method. Name of the method that I'm writing is sound. Name of the method that I'm writing is sound. If I'm talking about the sound, then definitely can I say that's actually this is going to make the sound that is meow. This is going to make a sound that is meow. Okay, so simple. One class is available. The name of the class is called actually cat class. The name of the class is actually called cat class. Control N. Talking about the next class. The name of the next class that I'm writing is tiger. Name of the next class that I'm writing is tiger. So definitely tiger is a cat. So can I write down this? Yes or no? Definitely tiger is a cat because tiger is a specialized form of cat. It's biology. Now, this time, if I'm talking about the public void sound method. This time, if I'm talking about the public void sound method, so can I say that we are talking about redefining the same method into the tiger class? Yes or no? Clear, everyone? So this time, just by looking at this example, we can say that our cat class is a superclass. Into the superclass cat, we are having one method that is called the sound method, such that if I'm talking about the natural sound, then definitely natural sound of the cat is meow. But as you know that this is a theory of evolution, always actually specialized forms are created from the existing form due to mutations also. So if I'm talking about the tiger class, then definitely tiger class is a cat class because tiger is ultimately a cat. But if I'm talking about the sound behavior, then we can easily say that Sir Tiger has redefined its sound behavior. It is not doing meow. Actually, it is doing a great roar. Now let me take one more example. So this time, let's say if I'm talking about the class, such that the name of the class is, let's say, demo. Into the demo class, now just focus the attention or pay attention very carefully. Your all the doubts will be 100% clear within next 10 minutes. Okay. First thing, if I'm writing here cat space cat, so what do you think? It is a reference variable or an object? What do you think? It is a reference variable or an object? Yes, it is a reference variable. Now see this line. Now see this line. If I'm writing cat equal to new cat, if I'm writing cat equal to new cat, so this time can I say that, sir, if we are talking about the reference variable, then definitely reference variable is available of class cat. And if I'm talking about the object, then object is also of class cat. So reference variable is also of cat class and object is also of cat class. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So right now we do not have any reference variable. We do not have any instance variable into the cat class. So initially you can assume that, sir, the size of the object is going to be just 1 byte. Size of the object is going to be just 1 byte. Thereafter, if I'm talking about this is the hash code available, so can you say that, sir, this kind of diagram is right now applicable? Yes or no? Reference variable is of superclass, object is also of superclass. So when reference variable is of superclass, object is also of superclass. And if I'm calling the sound method, then definitely it will call the version defined in superclass. Yes or no? It will call the version defined in superclass. Let us try to run this example. Clicking on run as Java application, we are getting the output meow. That is a much expected output. Okay. After doing this section, now we are going to make one minor change. The one minor change that we are going to make is, so we are writing here that is cat equal to new, and then we are writing tiger. So there is no error. So this time, if I'm talking about the reference variable, so can we say that the reference variable is of class cat? And if I'm talking about the object, then object is of class tiger. Yes or no? Object is of class tiger. Yes, it is. Now listen to me very carefully. So sir, one more object actually will be created. That object, definitely, again, there is no instance variable. So definitely size of this object is again going to be what? Only 1 byte is going to be the size of this object. 1 byte is again going to be the size of this object. If we are saying that this is the identifier for this, so can I say that, sir, the reference variable of class cat start pointing to this object, and if I'm talking about this object has turned into a garbage. Yes or no? Because there is no reference count, there is no reference, so this is turning into a garbage. It's eligible for garbage collection. Whatever it will be, let it be. Then going to next and final section. Using this reference variable cat, if I'm talking about calling the sound method, then can I say that this time reference variable of superclass is pointing to object of child class, means reference variable of cat is pointing to object of tiger class. So can you expect for a tiger output will be meow? Can you expect that for a tiger, is it good to print the output meow? No. Definitely, tiger is saying that I am having a redefined version. I am having a better version. So please call whatever version I am having. So Java says, yes, we are doing this thing for you because if a superclass reference variable is pointing to object of child class, so definitely if better version is available, if a specific version is available, then definitely that specific version will be called. So here actually it will call the version that is defined in tiger class. Getting my point? So right now, right click on run as Java application. We are getting output that is ROR. So how exactly this behavior is working? I hope now all the concepts are clear. Superclass reference variable can point to child class object. Yes. Method overriding means redefining the behavior. Yes. Using the reference variable of superclass whenever we are calling the overridden method, then the decision is actually taken on the behalf of object. Am I audible, visible, everyone? Actually, yes. Okay. Okay. Suddenly interface went off. That's why. So using the reference variable of superclass, we can call the using the reference variable of superclass whenever we are calling the overridden method, then actually calling decision is taken on the behalf of object. Means if object is of superclass, then version defined in superclass will be called. If object is of subclass, then version defined in subclass will be called. Getting my point, everybody? I hope with this example concept is 100% clear to you. Yes or no? Yes, it is. This is one of the very common example that actually I'm using for a long time, and this example is effective also. Interesting. That's good. Now we are going for the next part, and it will be good to take one more example. But before talking about this one more example, let me take one very simple thing for you. If I'm talking about the line number 7, and if I'm talking about the line number 12, so don't you find that syntax is 100% same? Line number 7 and line number 11, don't you find that syntax is 100% same? Okay, next question I am asking you that for the same syntax, is it executing same behavior or different behavior? Definitely a different behavior. So can I say this is a single interface, multiple methods or polymorphism or many forms? Yes, it is. And because this time calling decision is not taken at the compile time, calling decision is taken at the runtime. So this is called runtime polymorphism. Seems logical? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. So always keep in mind, if the calling decision is taken by compiler for the multiple choices, keep in mind, if the calling decision is taken by the compiler, like we have seen in the case of method overloading and constructor overloading, so it was compile time polymorphism. But now in case of method overriding, the calling decision is not taken by the compiler because object is not available at the compile time. Object is available at runtime. So calling decision will be taken by runtime system. So this is an example of runtime polymorphism. So method overloading is an implementation of compile time polymorphism, which is also called static binding or early binding. But runtime polymorphism is implemented using method overriding, and runtime polymorphism is also called dynamic binding or late binding. And in Java programming, it is actually referred as dynamic method dispatch. This is actually referred as dynamic method dispatch. So I hope this point is very much clear to all. Yes or no? Well, some doubts on the chat, so I'm answering. One scholar setting A small equal, this can refer to all the fields and methods of the parent class, but only refer to overridden method of the child class, not yes. From the anonymous, actually, I am receiving some doubts. You may not be able to see them. So if we redefine twisting method of the superclass, stating the object of subclass, wait for. Yeah. Next section. So one very simple example we have already come across. So now, okay, sir, this concept is okay, seems logical, but how exactly this example is useful? If we can get even a single example, then definitely it will be 100% clear, or it will make the things 100% clear. So concept so far we have already done. Now I'm talking about application of this concept. Getting my point? Concept we have already done. Now I'm going to give you an example in which we will talk about how exactly this application, exactly this concept is useful in the practical life. So shall I take the example, everybody? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. So let me give you one very simple situation. I'm going to create a class. Name of the class that I'm writing is engineering student. Okay. Why exactly I'm creating a class? So assume a situation. This is year 2022, and this class is, let's say, written by a developer, that is Vishal. This class is written by a developer, that is Vishal. What exactly the demand is? Initially, let's say we are having some client. The client name is, let's say, ABC Engineering College. The client of ABC Engineering College is coming to us that actually I have started a college. Right now, my college is actually definitely it is at the starting stage. So I'm having just college, no bus facility, no hostel facility I can afford right now. No bus facility, no hostel facility I can afford as of now. So in this condition, if I'm talking about the source of money, then definitely source of money is going to be tuition fee only. Yes or no? Source of money is going to be tuition fee only. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Source of money is going to be tuition fee only. So if I'm talking about an engineering student of that college, then definitely engineering student of that college has to pay one amount that is called tuition fee. And apart from the tuition fee, definitely it can have one more component that is called caution fee, kind of refundable. Yes or no? Okay, so Vishal has created two private variables, and Vishal is saying that sir, two private variables are there, so better to generate the constructor also. Constructor is also generated by Vishal. Constructor is also generated by Vishal. Vishal is saying that sir, better to generate the getter setter method also, because in future they may be demanded. I says yes, they may be demanded, so I am generating the getter setter method also. Now, Vishal is saying, or college owner is saying that please write down a method so that I can get the total fee amount. So as of now, if I'm talking about the total fee amount, then definitely the total fee amount is going to be tuition fee plus caution money. Yes or no? It is going to be, yes, it is. Okay. So if I'm writing here, so one thing that I would love to do better to slightly do the renaming. Actually, it was caution money. I have written caution fee, but hardly it is a matter of few seconds, because you know it very well. We are having directly shortcut to generate the methods. Alt Shift S. Then we are talking about generate constructor using field, clicking on generate. This is done. Alt Shift S. Then we are talking about generating getter setter method. So selecting all and generate. Okay, done. Done, 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 done. Tuck, 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 tuck. One more time. Tuck. Okay. So we are talking about one method. Name of the method we are writing is public double get total fee. And if I'm talking about the total fee, then definitely total fee is going to be tuition fee plus caution money. Yes or no? So this is code that is actually written by Vishal in year 2022. And let's say if I'm talking about the main class, then main class is something that is used by the end user. So let's say that I'm writing the name of the main class DMD demo, and this class is something that is written by a developer, that is Kapil. And Kapil is actually saying that I wanted to use the method only. I'm not interested what exactly you have written into this class. So first of all, Vishal has created the class engineering student. So can I say that initially Kapil has created a reference variable of engineering student class, and thereafter, it is actually creating an object of engineering student class such that tuition fee is 75,000 and let's say caution money is 10,000. So Kapil is creating reference variable of superclass, or Kapil is creating actually reference variable of engineering student class. In the next step, actually object of engineering student class is created. Now listen, now listen, now listen. If I'm talking about the total fee amount, then definitely Kapil is writing that the total fee by engineering student is plus es dot get total fee. So is it clear, everybody? Simple, one class is created, one method is created, and thereafter it is executing. Total fee we are getting is 85,000. Total fee we are getting is 85,000. Now going to the next section. Now going to the next section. Okay, in 2022, Vishal has written this code. Kapil, who is kind of employee of the college, he is using this class very, very properly, no problem. Now going to the next section. Let's say in year 2024. College is now having adequate amount of money, and this time college has started one more facility, that they have started bus facility also. So the scholars who those who are enjoying bus facility also, definitely they have to pay one additional component. Okay, first simple question. The scholars who are actually using bus facility, definitely they are engineering students. Yes or no? So can I say that this thing? Because the day scholar is an engineering student. Yes or no? Additionally, what exactly he is paying? He is paying one more charge. This is called caution money. Sorry, this is called bus fee, or you can say that you can call it actually transportation fee, or you can call it conveyance fees. So if I'm talking about generating the constructor, so definitely generate constructor using field. Don't you think automatically proper constructor is generated? Yes, it is. If I'm talking about generating the getter and setter method, then can we generate the getter and setter method? Yes, it is. Finally, if I'm talking about the get total fee, then definitely get total fee is a behavior that is defined into the superclass. So instead of defining a new behavior, don't you think that it is better to override? Yes or no? Because this behavior is already available into the superclass. So instead of creating a new behavior, it is better to override. And this time, can I say that if I'm talking about the total fee, then total fee is going to be whatever we are getting from the superclass plus whatever be the transportation fee. Yes or no, everyone? Clear how this thing is working? Yes. This code is actually written in 2024, and let's say this time I'm talking about the developer, then developer is again same person, that is Vishal. Now it's time when Kapil is here. Kapil is using the existing software and Vishal has added one more specialized form. Yes or no? Kapil is using the existing software such that Vishal has made the changes. Now, what exactly two solutions is there? Two solutions available is either Kapil should create the reference variable of day scholar class and Kapil should declare the object of day scholar class already. Here he is passing 85,000, caution money he is passing 10,000, conveyance fee he is passing 15,000. Thereafter, if I'm talking about the total fee, then definitely total fee by day scholar engineering student is, so this time he should write down ds dot get total fee. This time he should write down ds dot get total fee. So if actually this pattern is followed, you are getting your output. Yes, you are getting your output. That is correct. But don't you think that in future, if one more specialized form is added, then Kapil has to go with this form also? Yes or no? In future, if one more form is added, then Kapil has to remember that form also. In 2026, let's say college is starting hostel facility, then Kapil has to remember about the hostel student also. Thereafter, if college is starting, let's say that one more additional facility. So don't you think that in future, when further subclasses are added, then for Kapil, this thing is going to be very difficult to manage here? Yes or no? Because over a period of time, lot of different classes will be available there. Yes, it is. So again, let's say this time year 2026 it is. This time it is year 2026 it is, and we are having hostel facility also, and the scholar, those who are residing into the hostel, definitely they are engineering student also. Yes or no? Yes, it is. And apart from the tuition fee and the caution money, they are paying actually one more fee, that is called hostel fee. Apart from the hostel fee, they are actually paying hostel caution money also. Yes or no? They are paying hostel caution money also. So better to generate the constructor. Yes, sir, we are generating the constructor. Constructor is generated. Thereafter, isn't it better to generate the getter setter method? Yes, it is better to generate the getter setter method. Select all getter setter method is also generated. If I'm talking about the total fee that is paid by a hostel scholar, so definitely you will say that sir, method is already available into the super class. This time it is here 2026. And this time, if I'm talking about the developer, so let's say Vishal is not available to us. This time, I'm talking about the developer, that is Shubham. So again, will it be better to override the method instead of creating a new one? Yes or no? Yes, it is. So whatever be the tuition fee available from superclass, let it be as it is. Plus, apart from this, whatever be the hostel fee is, plus whatever be the hostel caution money is, it should be added there. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Now again, class is created, this time created by Shubham. We are coming to Kapil. Kapil is this time very much fainted by that, my dear scholar. Repeatedly you are creating the new classes, and here actually it is turning very much difficult for me to operate, because over a period of time, if you are adding the 20 classes, then for all the 20 classes, I need to create the reference variable, then I need to create the object, which is going to be very, very tough for me. So don't you think that for Kapil, the things are turning very, very difficult? Don't you think that for Kapil, things are turning very, very difficult? Yes or no? Such that right now every code I am writing in front of you, but for example, let's say that if we are having a team of 23 developers or 50 developers, every developer over a period of time is creating a new subclass. So definitely for Kapil, things are going to be extremely difficult. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Now, how to make the things easier? Tell Kapil that Mr. Kapil, no need to worry about creating further subclasses. You just do one thing. You keep the reference variable of superclass only. You keep the reference variable of superclass only, no matter what subclass we are using, or no matter what subclass is created. You don't have to too much worry about them. You just use the reference variable of superclass, because reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class. Yes or no? If Kapil is using reference variable of engineering student only, then don't you think that for Kapil this is perfectly okay, because reference variable of engineering student class can point to object of day scholar class, and reference variable of engineering student class can point to object of hostel scholar class also. Yes or no? Now listen, if I'm talking about calling of the get total fee method, then don't you think that calling of get total fee method will be decided on the behalf of object being pointed? So for Kapil, this time things are comparatively easier, because whenever a new subclass is added, so Kapil don't have to think too much about them. Kapil remember only one thing, that I need to use the reference variable of engineering student class. Whatever be the subclass you are creating, or whatever be the subclass object is created, calling of the overridden method will be managed by JVM automatically. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. So if I'm talking this thing, so can you see that we are getting one correct output? Yes or no? Please check. If I'm talking about this time, then can you see that we are getting correct output? Let me check one thing just. I think here I have made some minor mistake. Just a second, just a second, just a second. Okay. Coming here, right click, run as Java application. So we are getting total fee for engineering hostler student is 85,000. Here actually some mistake is done. ES equal to hostler student into the hostler student. So 1, 2, 3, 4 member we are passing. 3, 4 members are there. So super dot get tuition fee plus hostel fee plus hostel caution fee plus hostel caution fee. Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Somewhere I'm facing difficulty. Somewhere I'm facing difficulty. Right click, run as Java application. Total fee we are getting is 95,000. Total fee that we are getting is 95,000. Let me check once. Hostel student 85,000, then 10,000. But 95,000 is the fee for a normal scholar. Let me check again. 75,000, then 10,000.0. Here, if I'm using the same figure, that is 75,000 and 10,000, 75,000 and 10,000. Here I'm passing 65,000, and then what went wrong here? Yes, yes. Here I'm writing get tuition fee into the get tuition fee. Let me check once. Yes, caution money is actually okay. Just a minute. Here actually I'm getting answer 85,000. No, double and passing integer is not a problem. Double and passing integer is actually not a problem. Might be I am doing something wrong that I have to check. Might be something I have to check. ES equal to new hostel scholar. So hostel scholar class is there into the hostel scholar. 1 second, 1 second. Right click, run as Java application. So this time again, what output I'm getting? It's 85,000. So version defined in superclass is called hostler student scholar. Subclass of engineering scholar, yes. Overriding the method also, yes. What went wrong, dear? What went wrong? Let me check one by one. Engineering student, yes, it is. ES equal to new day scholar. Yes, it is. ES dot get total fee. ES equal to hostler scholar. So if I'm talking about the hostler scholar, then hostler scholar is a subclass of engineering student. Yes, it is a subclass of engineering student. Yes. So two members coming from superclass. Yes. Hostel student working. Super keyword I am calling. Assigning hostel fee. Yes. Then into the get total fee. Once actually let me check one thing. One scholar is writing we extend day scholar to hostel scholar, but in ES contain object of day scholar. No. Here actually ES is containing the object of hostler student. Here actually it is containing. Let me do one thing. I am just actually slightly suspicious if correct method is called or not. Okay, see here. Here I am writing system.out.println C. Into the day scholar, I am writing system.out.println B, and into the engineering student, I am writing system.out.println, and here I am writing the value that is called A. Once just wanted to check if the correct version is called or not, clicking on run Java application. So A, B, and then again A. So here actually some mistake is there. Here actually some mistake is there that the incorrect version is actually called. Incorrect version is actually called. So let me check one more thing. ES equal to new hostler student. Just a minute. What happened? Zoom. So when I'm calling, I think I'm making some mistake somewhere. Here actually output should be C. Here actually output should be C first, then output should be A. The problem is that when I'm calling here ES.get total fee, then in this condition, it is actually showing check if it is overridden or not. Yes, that is what I'm checking. See, class engineering student is there. In the engineering student class, I am having get total fee. Yes. If I'm talking about the hostler scholar, oh, sorry. You spotted it right, and due to mistake, I was getting it wrong. This time it is working. Okay. This time it is working. Okay, because instead of overriding the get total fee by mistake, I actually overrided the get tuition fee. That's why actually this mix-up takes place. Okay, well, again, see, come back. Once again, I'm giving you summarization. Just try to understand initially. First of all, we are having an engineering college. Initially, there is no facilities available for hostel and bus. So if I'm talking about the source of income, then in the source of income, we are having tuition fee plus caution money. Yes or no? First class is clear, everyone? Just go step by step. Okay, first class. If I'm talking about the main method, then in the main method initially, to get the total fee that is paid by an engineering student, we have to create reference variable, we have to create object, then we have to call get total fee. So this will call the version that is defined in engineering student. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now in 2024, college is coming with a new demand that now we are capable to handle the bus transportation also. So they are saying that please actually change your program. Now one option, either Vishal should make changes here, or second better solution is instead of disturbing this code, Vishal has decided to create a subclass of engineering student. The name of the class is Day Scholar. So don't you think that it is a better approach? Yes or no? Yes, it is. So apart from the two members, that is the tuition fee and the question money, transportation fee is also there. Constructor is generated, getter setter method is generated. Now, if I'm talking about the total fee for the day scholar, then definitely total fee for the day scholar is going to be tuition fee plus caution money plus transportation fee. So here, the method is already available to get the total fee for the engineering student. So don't you think that it is better to override the get total fee method such that we are using the version defined in parent, and in the version defined in parent, we are adding the transportation fee. Is that clear? Yes or no? Overriding is clear, everyone. It's a better choice. This thing is also clear. That's good. Now going to the next section. This time, actually because dynamic method dispatch is available and a superclass reference variable can point to object of child class. So this time for couple, don't you think that if couple is using the same reference variable to point to the object of subclass, then couple is going to get the desired result? Yes or no? Yes, it is. And what is the advantage? In future, if one more subclass is getting added, still couple don't have to worry. Couple have to stick to same reference variable. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Simple logic. In future, if one more subclass is created, then still there is no problem for couple because things are going to be 100% same for him. In 2026, let's say college is coming with the new facility that they are saying that this time we are capable to accommodate the scholars also. So they are saying this is year 2026. Developer is this time Shubham. Shubham is again saying the same thing that, sir, if we are talking about hostler student, it is an engineering student. So better to create a subclass. So this time, can you see that Shubham is using the code that was written by Vishal? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Again, hostel fee and hostel caution money is additional thing that is having. Get total fee is what we can override again. Whatever version defined in superclass, this is working. Apart from this, get tuition fee plus hostel caution fee is also here. Yes or no? Again, redefining. Okay. If I'm talking about public static void main area where exactly your code is used. So again, when a new subclass is added, still couple is using the same reference variable. So isn't it very much convenient for couple that if specific forms are getting added over a period of time, still for him, moderation is minimum because if couple is using the reference variable of superclass that is pointing to object of child class, then correct overridden version will be called automatically by JVM. So don't you think that headache that has to be taken by couple, it is shifted over to JVM? Yes or no? Whatever botheration that was supposed to be taken by the human, we have forwarded this thing to the human. So this is what the ultimate objective of polymorphism, to manage the complexity. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So this is one example that I have taken, but over a period of time, the same discussion I will keep continue with you. Over a period of time, the same discussion I will keep continue with you. So I hope that runtime polymorphism, dynamic method dispatch, this thing is clear to all. Concept is, I think, 80-90% clear. Application is 50-60% clear. If this is, then it is sufficient as of now. If this is, it is sufficient as of now, because for the next 2-3 days, still I will keep continue to discuss about the same topic to you directly, indirectly. So don't worry. Don't worry. We will discuss about this topic for next 2-3 days also. Okay. So everyone, I think it's good time to take a break. See you at 0101. Till that time period, I'm copying this example here. This will be shared to you. This will be shared to you. One of the scholar is asking, sir, where can I find the notes of live class? They are already shared to you, everyone. They are already shared to you. Into the Notion documentation is shared by Faisal. Notion documentation is already shared by Faisal. So please refer to this documentation. It is not updated one. I used to update after class. I used to update it after class. Just a minute, see. This kind of some batch 22-day live notes. This folder is, I think, shared to you. In this folder, so far we are having content for day 7. Today I will add content for day 8 also. See, these were all the examples that we have done yesterday. These are all examples that we have done yesterday. I used to upload them. I used to upload them after class, but it may be possible that plus minus 1 hour can be possible. Plus minus 1 hour can be possible, but I used to upload them on daily basis. Along with the example, they are shared to you. If not, then you can demand again. Please give the link once here. Fazal, please provide the link to them. Joining you in a second. Till that time period, better to read this. Better to read this. Option number B, definitely it will print the output that is B. Definitely it will print the output that is B. Okay. Now question number 2. What is the output of the following code? Class A is there, private void foo method is there, system.out.println A. Class B extends A, public void foo. So again, this is the case of overriding. System.out.println 1, A small a equal to new capital B, A dot B. What is the possible output again? What is the possible output again? Okay. That's good. Third question is available. Class A is there. Into the class A, we are having static void fun system.out.println A. Class B extends A. Again, static void fun is there. System.out.println B. Then public static void min A small a equal to new capital V and A dot fun. What will be the output? Four options are available: A, B, C, D. Okay. So now it will be good to discuss about the first three questions. It will be good to discuss about the first three questions. Again, I am opening the first question in front of you. And to the first question, the correct output is going to be none of these. Into the first question, the correct output is going to be none of these. And what is the rule? Just listen very, very carefully. Okay. In the class A, before the void show method, what access modifier I have used? Public. What access modifier I have used? Public. At the time of overriding, I am not using any access modifier. And when I am not using any access modifier, so can I say that, sir, actually I am using default access modifier, or actually I am using a weak access modifier? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Now, what is the rule? Listen to me very, very carefully. Whenever you are overriding a method, then at the time of overriding, either you can use same access modifier or you can use flexible access modifier, but you cannot use restrictive access modifier. Repeating the rule again, whenever you are overriding a method, so at the time of overriding, either you can use same access modifier or you can use flexible access modifier, but you cannot use restrictive access modifier. What is the meaning of this? For example, if here I am having protected, just listen. For example, let's say if I'm having access modifier protected. So sir, it is very easy to say that if I'm talking about the private access modifier, then can we say that private access modifier is somewhat that is most restrictive access modifier because it is having maximum restrictions? Yes or no? If I'm talking about the public access modifier, then can I say that public access modifier is least restrictive or most flexible access modifier? Yes or no? Yes, it is. So now listen, simple logic. Initially, in your superclass, if you are not using any access modifier, mind my words very, very carefully. In the superclass, if you are not using any access modifier, so at the time of overriding, you cannot use private, clear? Because private is something that is more restrictive. Yes or no? Into the superclass, if you are not using any access modifier, then definitely at the time of overriding, you cannot use private because private is more restrictive. Yes or no? Second thing, you may choose not to use any access modifier, then definitely it will be on the same level. Yes or no? Yes, it is. You can use protected because protected is actually considered as less restrictive. Clear, everyone? And definitely you can use public. So try to just to understand this thing. For example, let's say that I am having a class A. Into the class A, there is a method available. The name of the method is called void fun method. If the name of the method is void fun method, so at the time of overriding, I'm having multiple choices available. Among the multiple choices, if I am writing here, then you can see it very, very clearly that we are having one access modifier void fun. Then we are having one more thing that is called protected void fun. Then we are having one more thing that is called public void fun. All the three versions are 100% okay. Getting my point? Clear? But if you are using private void fun, then definitely using the private void fun is going to be an error. This is going to be an error. Now concept is clear. What is more restrictive? What is less restrictive? Yes or no? If I'm talking about private, then definitely private is actually considered as most restrictive. Thereafter it comes no modifier. Thereafter it comes protected, and thereafter it comes public. Such that if I'm talking about the going from left to right, so when you are going from left to right, then definitely you are actually going from most restrictive. You are actually going from most restrictive to least restrictive. Yes or no? You are actually going from more restrictive to least restrictive, or simply you can say that you are actually going from least flexible to most flexible. Is that okay, everyone? So how to choose the access modifier? Okay, one simple exercise that I'm writing for you. For example, let's say that I'm having one more method, and name of the method that we are writing is, let's say it is void foo is the method that actually we are writing. And this time before the foo method, let's say if I have used access modifier protected, if I have used the access modifier protected. So I'm writing four version for you. First version, no modifier. Second version, protected. Third version, public. And one more version, I'm writing private. So among the four versions, which two versions are incorrect? Can you tell me? Among the four versions, which two versions are incorrect? 1 and 2. 1 and 2, they are actually considered as incorrect. Okay, let me take one more thing. For example, if I'm talking about one more method, name of the method, for example, let's say I'm writing private foo bar method is what I'm writing. This time method is public. If this time method is public, then definitely can I say that public is the only form that is going to be correct. If I'm talking about other all the forms, then definitely other all the forms are actually incorrect. Now, I hope this rule is clear to all. Yes or no? So simple logic, whenever you are overriding, you can use flexible access modifier, but you cannot use restrictive access modifier, yet you can use same level of access modifier. Yet you can use same access modifier. Hmm. Going to next section. Yes, higher or same can only be used. Okay. Next thing, if I'm talking about the question number 2, then in the question number 2, again, the right answer is going to be none of these. Because my dear scholars, if I'm talking about the foo method, then definitely foo method is private. And simple logic. Can you access a private method outside class body? So there is straight compile time error. There is straight compile time error because foo is a private method of class A and you are trying to access foo method of class A outside class A, which is not okay. Second thing, if I'm talking about the private method, then can I say that private method are visible only to their own class only? Private methods are visible to their own class only. If private methods are visible to their class only, so definitely subclass cannot override them practical because subclass do not have any knowledge about the private methods. Keep in mind, private methods cannot be overridden in any programming language. Private methods cannot be overridden in any programming language. So because this is not a case of overriding, so it will be treated that, sir, we are trying to access private variable of class A. We are trying to access private method of class A. That's why this code is error. Getting my point? Overall simple logic, private methods cannot be overridden in the subclass. Simple logic, private methods cannot be overridden in the subclass. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? and you can access private member only within its own class, not outside the class. That's why this code is going to again produce a compile time error. That's why this code is again going to produce an compile time error. Okay. Third case, what is the output of the following code? Okay, simple point, simple point, simple point. See, very basic logic I am asking you. If I'm talking about the method fun, then definitely you can see that, sir, method fun is actually public. Method fun is actually static. Okay, simple logic. Let's say there is a static method available and name of the static method is fun. If you are calling a static method using class name, if you are calling a static method using class name, if you are calling a static method directly within the same class, then don't you think that all the three syntaxes are same? Yes, it is. And if you remember one more thing, then I told you that calling of static method is always resolved at the compile time. Did you remember this? If not remember, then simple logic I am asking. Do I need object to call a static member, static method? No, definitely not. If I do not need object to call a static method, then definitely can I say that, sir, calling of static method will not be resolved at runtime. It will always be resolved at the compile time. Yes or no? Yes, it is. If it is always resolved at the compile time, so can we say that its calling will be done on the behalf of reference variable, not on the behalf of object? Because object is available at runtime. So calling of static method is because resolved at the compile time. That's why output of this question is going to be, it will print answer A. Clear, everybody? Great, 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 great. So 3 questions. You need to revise this class again. Definitely, I understand, because this class is not getting cemented in one shot. Okay. One scholar is asking for the static again. Simple logic, go by one. Step number 1, question number 1. Do I need an object to call a static method? No, because a static method can be called using class name. Because a static method can be called using class name. So can I say that if I do not need object, so calling of a static method can be resolved at the compile time? Simple logic. Calling of static method can be resolved at the compile time because there is no need of object to call the static method. So if there is calling a resolve at the compile time, so definitely there will be no dynamic method dispatch. Yes or no? Because dynamic method dispatch is depending on the object. Now, so according to this principle, can we say that calling of the static method can be done on the behalf of reference variable only? So output will be system.out.println A. So A will be printed here. Yes or no? Is it okay? If you are writing b.fun, then output will be B. If you are writing b.fun, then your output will be B, because a static method is called on the behalf of reference variable. This is the simple thing that you should remember, or simply you can say that static methods are actually not overridden. Now clear, everyone? Just one line. Static methods are actually not overridden. So that's why their calling always takes place on the behalf of reference variable. So in this example, if you are calling the fun method using reference variable of class A, then version defined in class A will be called. If you are calling the same method using the reference variable of class B, then version defined in class B will be called. Now clear? Yes or no? Static are simply not overridden anytime. Clear, everybody? This is the point that we are having. Okay. Question number 4. I'm going to explain you. Don't waste your time, because I am expecting that nobody will almost answer this question. Okay, see. There is a class B available and there is a class Q available. For a while, please do not write anything on chat. For a while, do not write anything on chat. If I'm talking about class B, then definitely class B is a super type. If I'm talking about class Q, it is a subtype. It's very much clear. Now look at the class A. Nitesh, do not write anything on chat. Now look at the class A. Into the class A, you can say that there is a show method available, such that show method is actually returning object of class Q. Class B is there. Class B is actually extending class A. Class B is actually extending class A. According to this principle, can I say one very, very simple thing? That, sir, we are actually overriding the show method. And when we are overriding the show method, so this time we are actually returning a super type. Listen to me very, very carefully. If I'm talking about the version defined in class A, then version defined in class A of the show method, if I'm talking about its return value, then definitely you will say that, sir, it is going to return a subtype. But if I'm talking about the version defined in class B, then the version defined B in class B actually return not subtype, it is actually going to return super type. Yes or no? Now you can answer. This all equation clear to you? P is a super type, Q is a subtype. Version defined in class A is going to return super type, but version defined in class B is going to return subtype. Is that discussion clear, everyone? Yes, it is. Now, simple point I am asking. Let's say class A is written by couple. Let's say class A is written by couple, and when Naveen is going to call the show method of class A, when Naveen is going to call the show method of class A. So what exactly Naveen is doing? Just see, do not write anything on chat. Do not write anything on chat. If Naveen is going to call the show method that is defined by class A, so don't you think this time Naveen is expecting that show method is going to return an object of class Q? Yes or no? Just one by one. You can answer. Class A is written by couple. Naveen wanted to use class A. So Naveen is creating the object of class A, and using that object of class A, when Naveen is calling the show method, so don't you think that show method that is written by couple is going to return an object of class Q? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. Now situation number two. Situation number two. Let's say class B is written by Prince. Let's say class B is written by Prince. So definitely class B that is written by Prince, it is a subtype. Prince is overriding this method such that Prince is returning super type. But now again, if I'm talking about Naveen, so let's say Naveen is writing this syntax A equal to new capital B. And when Naveen is actually calling the show method such that if he is writing this syntax, what do you think? Will it be okay or this line will be error? You can answer. Error. Why? Because actually Naveen is expecting that the return type is going to be of class Q. But the problem is that return type is not actually of class Q. Return type is super type of class Q. Getting my point? Okay. Now simple question I am asking to you. Who is wrong? Naveen or the person who override class B, Prince? Who is wrong? Naveen or Prince? Well, let me answer. Actually, Naveen is not wrong. Actually, Naveen is not wrong because according to the principle, Naveen says that superclass reference variable can point to child class object. Yes. Calling of the overridden method will be done at runtime. Yes, there is no problem. Naveen is not wrong. But wrong is actually this time Prince, who is actually returning the super type because actually your caller will never be aware about such kind of mistakes, and ultimately your caller's code is going to get crashed or it will actually run into a runtime error. So for this reason, there is one more rule in Java programming, and this rule is actually referred as covariant return type. This rule is actually called covariant return type. Covariant return type. What exactly the rule of covariant return type says? Listen very, very carefully. Whenever you are overriding a method, then you can return the object of same class, or you can return the subtype, but you can never return super type. Again repeating, whenever you are overriding a method, then you can return object of same level, or you can return object of subtype, but you cannot return object of super type. This is what rule of covariant return type is. Getting my point? Again repeating, still if you are not getting, again repeating. What exactly the covariant return type rule says? If your method in the superclass is returning an object, then at the time of overriding, your overridden version can return either the same object or it can return object of subtype, but it cannot return object of super type. So now if I'm changing the situation, while changing the situation, say this time what exactly takes place? Let's say this code is written by person 1. Let's say that it is written by Kapil. This time, the show method that is written by Kapil, it is returning a super type. Let's say that overridden version is actually created by next scholar, that is Prince Kumar. So this time Prince Kumar is overriding and it is not returning a super type. Actually, it is returning a subtype. Yes or no? This time the overridden version is returning a subtype. Now listen, for example, let's say again, Naveen wanted to use this code. Again, let's say Naveen wanted to use this code. Naveen is writing the code and this time Naveen is aware that object of class P will be aware. Naveen is aware that object of class P will be aware. So into the case number 1, if it is writing a dot show, into the case number 1, if it is writing a dot show, then definitely the syntax is going to work perfectly fine. Let's say now what Naveen is doing, that the reference variable of superclass is pointing to object of child class, and in this condition, if Naveen is even writing the same code, still there will be no problem, because for next a dot show, version defined in subclass will be called, and a superclass reference variable can point to child class object. So even if your show method is returning object of class Q, then it can be pointed by reference variable of class P. Yes or no? Please check. Please check this thing. Well, in your Notion notes, all these answers are available. In your Notion notes, all these answers are available. Well, first 3 questions are already clear. What is most restrictive? What is least restrictive? Second thing, private variables are not overridden. Third thing, calling of a static method is resolved at the compile time. For the fourth and fifth, you need to slightly do a revision. But what was the case? One, last time I'm going to repeat the same. One, last time I'm going to repeat the same situation. Just try to understand this. See, again, see here. If I'm talking about class P, then definitely class P is a super type. If I'm talking about class Q is a subtype. Listen very, very carefully. This is the last attempt for you. If I'm talking about the class P, if I'm talking about the class A, then let's say that class A is actually written by the developer whose name is Kapil. And if I'm talking about the class Q, then class Q is written by the another developer. Let's say that name of this another developer is Prince. Okay. If I'm talking about the main method, then let's say that main method is actually written by another developer. Name of another developer is Naveen. Okay. If Naveen is writing a small a equal to new capital A, so can I say that the reference variable of superclass is pointing to object of superclass? Yes or no? Reference variable of superclass is pointing to object of superclass. And this time, if I'm writing a dot show, then definitely it will call the version defined in superclass. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So if I'm talking about the expected return type, then expected return type is going to be of class Q. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. Now next thing. What Naveen is writing, Naveen is writing a small a equal to new capital B. So this time we can say that the reference variable is of superclass and object is of child class. Yes or no? This time. Okay. If I'm calling this time a dot show method. So now listen, what Naveen can expect, two possible situations are there. Situation number 1, if Prince has not overridden the show method, then in this condition, the show method defined in superclass will be called. Yes or no? If Prince has not overridden the show method, then definitely version defined in superclass will be called. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So there will be no problem. Second case, if actually Prince has overridden the show method, then definitely return type that Naveen is expecting, it should be of class Q, or it should be something that is compatible of class Q. Yes or no? Is there anything wrong if Naveen is expecting that return type is going to be of class Q, or it is going to be something compatible of class Q? Because whenever you are performing overriding, then method signature into the superclass and subclass must be same. Yes or no? Yes, it is. But what do you think? Naveen is going to get object of class Q, or he is going to get object of class P for this line? He is going to get object of class P. Now, reference variable of class Q, which is a subtype, can it point to object of class P, which is a supertype? No. So this is going to be an ultimately error. Now clear? Yes, it is. So that's why if you are trying to compile this code, then this code is going to produce a compile time error. And Java this time come up with a new rule. This new rule is actually referred as the covariant return type. This covariant return type actually says a very, very simple thing. It actually says that whenever you are overriding a method, so at the time of overriding, either you should return the same level value or you should return the sub level value, but please never return the super level value. Now, is that point clear, everyone? Try this thing. Now, please try this thing. Now check, there is no chance of error in any part because when Naveen is calling the first version, he is expecting object of class P. For the second calling, the subtype of P is available. So definitely superclass reference variable can point to child class object. So this concept is going to work. So simple line, you just remember whenever you are overriding a method. So at the time of overriding, either you can return the same value or you can return the value of the subtype, but you cannot return the value of super type. Is that clear? Simple line. Leave rest of the explanation. Just one line that you can remember. Whenever you are overriding a method, then you can keep the signature same, then there is no problem. But if you are actually not keeping the signature same, so you can return actually value of subtype, but you cannot return the value of supertype. This is the only thing that you need to keep into your mind. And this is what referred to as covariant return type. And by looking at this explanation, I hope that it is making some sense into your mind. I hope it is making some sense into your mind. So this is Java programming. Everything is sensible, but you need some experience and you need some practice to code, then only. Okay. And this was the question that was asked to me in one of the very reputed companies interview. And fortunately, I was able to clear. Well, so all the explanations are already available here. Going to the next easier topic now. Going to some next easier topic now. See, instance of operator, extremely simple operator. The instance of operator is used to check what object your reference variable is pointing to. Simple, we can cover it from here. See, instance of operator, it is used to check if the object belong to a specific class or not. My God, Nitish, what you are writing, I'm not able to understand. See, instance of operator, it is used to check if the object belong to a specific class or not. What is the syntax? Just write down the object name, that is practically reference variable name, then instance of operator, and then class name. Directly take a look at the example. See, class A is available, class B is available. By looking at the two syntaxes, which one is super type, A or B? Which one is super type, A or B? Definitely A is super type, and if we are talking about B, B is subtype. A is super type and B is going to be subtype. Okay. Class demo is available. Into the class demo, public static void main string args is there. A small a equal to new capital A. So here, reference variable is of class A and object is also of class A. Yes or no? Yes, it is. So we are writing A instance of A is reference variable of class A pointing to object of class A. Yes or no? Yes. Is reference variable of class A pointing to object of class A? Yes. So the output of A instance of A is going to be true. Is that clear? Second line, A instance of B means is reference variable A pointing to object of class B? Answer is no. So can we expect that the answer is going to be false? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Next time, answer is going to be false. Okay. Look at the next example. B small b equal to new capital B. So reference variable is of class B. Object is also of class B. First line. B instance of B. Definitely answer is going to be true. Yes or no? Yes. If I'm writing B instance of A, then again answer is going to be true because object of class B is object of class A itself. Yes or no? Object of class B is object of class A itself. So this thing is perfect. Going to the third case, A temp equal to new B. So can we say that the reference variable of superclass is pointing to object of child class? Yes, it is. And if I'm writing temp instance of A, so practically your temp is pointing to object of class B, and definitely object of class B is an object of class A itself. So answer is going to be true. Yes or no? Yes, it is. If I'm writing temp instance of B, so temp is a reference variable of class A that is pointing to object of class B. So this is very much like temp is pointing to object of class B. Yes or no? Answer is yes. So answer is true. Is that point clear, everybody? How instance of operator is working? And by looking at the last two lines, you can say that, sir, it is also actually working on the concept of dynamic method dispatch because it is not answering only on the behalf of reference variable, but practically it is answering on the behalf of object being pointed. Getting my point? Instance of operator. So whenever you wanted to check whether the reference variable is pointing to object of some class or not, so simply use the instance of operator. Simply use the instance of operator. Okay, let me ask some question to you. For example, let's say if I'm writing object O equal to new string bracket open double quotation, I'm writing Masai. First of all, what do you think? Is that syntax okay? What do you think? Is that syntax okay? Yes, no, yes, no. The syntax is perfectly okay because object class is parent class of all classes. So definitely object class is parent class of string class also. Yes or no? And a reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class. So keep in mind, reference variable of object class can point to object of any class because in Java programming, object class is parent class of all classes. Getting my point? So the syntax is perfectly okay. Clear, everyone? Okay. Now let's say that I am writing system.out.println, writing into the short system.out.println. If I'm writing O instance of string, so what do you think? Answer will be true or false? O instance of string. Answer will be true or false? Definitely answer will be true because reference variable O is pointing to object of class string. If I'm writing O instance of object, answer will be true or false? Definitely answer is true because every object in Java programming is an object of object class. If I'm writing here this thing, answer will be true or false? This time answer will be false because it is pointing to object of string class. It is not pointing to object of string buffer class. Now clear, everyone? How this is working? So always keep in mind, instance of operator is used to check what object your reference variable is containing, and the reference variable superclass subclass concept, they are going to work 100% same for you. They are going to work 100% same for you. Okay, let me go for some different situations also. While writing about the different situation, let's say that I am having one class, name of the class that I am writing is S, and one more class is available, the name of the class is T, such that class T is actually extending class S. Okay, just focus here very carefully and you will understand a very great concept that is going to help you a lot. Okay, if I'm writing class S, class T extends S. So according to this principle, can I say that class S is super type? Yes or no? And class T is going to be subtype? Clear, everybody? Okay. Now, if I'm writing SS1 equal to new capital S, so this time if I'm talking about the reference variable, then definitely reference variable is of class A, class S. If I'm talking about object, object is also of class S. So definitely there is no conversion. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Same thing if I'm writing for T. then again reference variable is of class T and object is also of class T, so there is no conversion. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Now going to the next part. If I'm writing SS2 equal to new capital T, so this time can you say that a superclass reference variable is pointing to child class object? Yes or no? Okay. And definitely a superclass reference variable can point to child class object, so there is no error. This type of conversion is automatic and this type of conversion is called upcasting. Getting my point? Clear everyone? This type of conversion is actually called upcasting because you are assigning a value from subtype to the supertype. So whenever you are assigning a value from subtype to the supertype, so this conversion is automatic and this is called automatic conversion. So type conversion and casting is applicable for reference type also. And the type conversion and casting when superclass reference variable is pointing to the child class object. So this is called upcasting. So term upcasting is clear? Yes or no? Term upcasting is clear, such that if we are talking about upcasting, so upcasting is always automatic. Upcasting is always automatic. Okay, if I'm writing T small t equal to new capital S, so definitely this time if I'm talking about the reference variable, then the reference variable is of class T. But if I'm talking about object, then object is of class S, and this conversion is not possible because the reference variable of subclass cannot point to object of superclass. Yes or no? A reference variable of subclass cannot point to object of superclass. Is that point clear, everyone? Great. Now going to next section. Definitely this statement is error. Definitely this statement is error. Now let me do one more thing. If I'm writing C, look at the line number 61. In the line number 61, you can see that's a reference variable is of superclass, but object is of child class. Yes or no? Reference variable is of superclass, but object is of child class. Yes, it is. Now, what exactly I am writing? If I'm writing T2 equal to S2, if I'm writing T2 equal to S2. So when I'm writing T2 equal to S2, so this time don't you think that I'm trying to perform an assignment such that after the assignment, reference variable T2 will point to object of class T itself. Yes or no? Simple logic. After this assignment, reference variable T2, which is of class T, it will point to object of class T itself. So according to this thing, this assignment should work. Yes or no? According to this principle, this assignment should work, but unfortunately, this assignment is going to perform compile time error, or actually this type of conversion is not allowed by compiler. Why this type of conversion is actually not allowed by compiler? Just listen very, very carefully. What exactly your Java compiler is saying? Java compiler says that reference variable S2 is of class S. Yes or no? Reference variable S2 is of class S. And what do you think? Can compiler find out to which object your reference variable S2 is pointing such that object is created at runtime? Repeating my word again. Can compiler spot to which object reference variable S2 is pointing such that object is created at runtime? Definitely it cannot spot because object is created at runtime. And at the time of compilation, compiler is finding that you are trying to assign a reference variable of supertype to subtype. And because you are trying to assign a reference variable of supertype to subtype, so definitely a reference variable of subclass cannot point to object of superclass. So compiler will prevent this application, and this operation is actually called downcasting. So can I say that downcasting is an operation that cannot be performed automatically? Is that clear, everyone? Downcasting is not performed automatically. Still, if you wanted to perform downcasting, then definitely you can perform downcasting. So don't you think this syntax is same as what we have already written when we were trying to assign a float value to integer? In case of primitive data type also downcasting was explicitly. In case of reference type also downcasting is explicitly. Now listen to me very carefully. The syntax is written by programmer, yes or no? So in future, if there will be any mix-up, then who will be responsible? Programmer, yes or no? Yes, it is. So overall, the point is that this time, when compiler is compiling this line, so only one thing compiler is going to check, that S1, that the class T and class S, they are part of inheritance relationship. Yes. Naveen Sharma, just wait for some time. Topic is going on. I have not explained it completely. You are talking about any use of it. If there is not any use of the topic, then why I am here? Make sense? If there is no use of any topic, then why I should waste my energy? Make sense? So have patience. See here, T2 equal to S2. Now your compiler is going to check only one thing. Class T and class A, do they belong to is a relationship? So my question to you, class S and class T, do they belong to? Simple, is a relationship, yes or no? Yes, it is. Definitely, there is an relationship. So this time, compiler will say, okay, programmer, you are doing the assignment, so I trust you. I am not generating any compile time error, but keep in mind, this time, after this assignment, reference variable is of definitely class T. But if I'm talking about object is also of class T. So definitely, there will be no error after this assignment. Yes or no? There will be no error. Yes or no? Clear. That's great. Perfect. No problem. You people are working on the right track. So overall, one summarization that I'm giving you. If I'm talking about the upcasting, then definitely upcasting is automatic because reference variable of superclass can point to object of child class. There is no problem. Point number one. If you are going for the downcasting, then definitely downcasting is not automatic. You have to do it explicitly. But if you are doing the typecasting, then still compiler is checking that the source and the destination, they must be part of is a relationship. If there is no is a relationship, then still you will get compile time error. Is that point clear? Clear, everyone? Now I'm going to last and final case. Into the last and final case, if I'm writing S3 equal to new capital S. So this time, can I say that we are having reference variable that is of class S, and if I'm talking about object, it is also of class S, and into this line there is no conversion. But let's say you this time you are in the boss mood, and when you are into the boss mood, so you are trying to perform this assignment. This time, again your Mr. Compiler is coming, and Mr. Compiler is just actually checking. You are assigning reference variable of class S to the reference variable of class T. Do they are part of is a relationship? Yes, they are part of is a relationship. So compiler will not produce any problem. But don't you think that after assignment, this is going to be a great blunder because your reference variable that is of class T, it is actually trying to point to the object of class S. Yes or no? Which is perfectly wrong. Yes, it is. So this time there will be no compile time error. This time it is not a compile time error, but when you are going to run this program, then you are going to get a runtime error, and the name of the runtime error is going to be class cast exception. Specifically, the name of the runtime error is going to be class cast exception. So can we say, even if you are performing downcasting, then you may skip the check by the compiler, but you cannot skip the check that is done by runtime system. Is that clear? So what is the concept of upcasting, downcasting? I hope this thing is clear to all. What is the use of this? Now I am going to discuss with you. But first of all, everybody, from line number 55 to line number 68. If anybody is having any doubt, then please do let me know. Yet I have written everything clearly. Is that okay, everybody? Shall I proceed to next topic, which is a small one? Line number 68. Okay. Shubham Bhatti is asking line number 68. Just focus on the line number 67. Ultimately, thing is that it is okay to do the downcasting if there is no runtime error. Ultimately, it is okay to do the downcasting if there is no runtime error. Now listen to me very, very carefully. First of all, again, stack will be there. Again, heap will be there. If I'm talking about the reference variable into the stack, the name of the reference variable into the stack is S3. If I'm talking here new S, then don't you think that object of class S is going to be created here? Don't you think that object of class S is going to be created here? If you are talking that object of which class, it is S. If I'm talking about the identifier, then for the sake of simplicity, let's say identifier is 8585. In the next line, when you are writing T3 equal to TS3, when you are writing T3 equal to this S3, so here actually, don't you think that the reference variable that is of class T, it is actually trying to point to object of class S. Check please, Shubham. Reference variable of class T is trying to point to object of class S. Now simple question, can a reference variable of subclass point to object of superclass? Simple answer is no. So definitely in this condition, in the same line, you will receive a runtime error. Is that clear? Yes, it is. So overall, the point is that upcasting is automatic, no need to worry. Downcasting you can do, but if you are making any incompatible assignment, then you are going to get runtime error. Clear, everybody? Yes, it is. Simple logic. Now the thing arises that, sir, what is the use of this? Now the thing arises, what is the use of this? So let me write down one very, very simple example. I am writing, let's say there is a class available, name of class I am writing is class A. Into the class A, I am having one variable integer I. Then there is one more class available, class B, such that class B actually extends class A. And here I am writing one variable, name of the variable that I am writing is integer J. Let's say initially I have assigned here value 10 and here I have assigned value 20. Then there is, let's say main method is available, and within the main method now I am writing a1 equal to new capital B. So if I am going by the diagram, then can you see that, sir, this is going to be the reference variable of class A1, and then there is going to be object of class B, such that object of class B will occupy memory for variable I, and it will occupy memory for object. Total memory it is going to be occupy is 8 bytes, and if identifier is 8585, then this kind of diagram will be there. Yes or no? Diagram is clear, everyone? Yes, it is. Okay. Now if I'm writing system dot out dot println, if I'm writing system dot out dot println, and if I'm writing a1 dot I, then definitely output is going to be 10. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Second point, system dot out dot println. If I'm writing a1 dot j, then definitely writing the a1 dot j is going to be error. Yes or no? Because using the reference variable of superclass, you can access only those members that are defined in superclass. You cannot access any member that is defined in subclass. Clear, everyone? Now going to the next section. If I'm writing this thing, so what do you think? The syntax is okay or not? At compile time as well as at runtime? Okay, because when you are going to make this assignment, then definitely one more reference variable whose name is b1 will be created. One more reference variable whose name b1 is created, such that b1 is pointing to object of class B itself. So definitely there is no problem. Is that clear? Yes, it is. Now listen to me very, very carefully. If you are writing the syntax system dot out dot println b1 dot I, then for the b1 dot I, don't you think that output 10 is perfectly okay? And if you are writing b1 dot j, then you are going to get the output 20. Yes or no? Check please. Check please. So overall, if you are having reference variable of superclass, then using the reference variable of superclass, you cannot access the member defined in subclass. But after performing the correct downcasting, you can access. Yes or no? Clear, everybody? Using the reference variable of superclass, you cannot access the members, those who are defined in subclass. But once you have done the correct downcasting, then you can access them. Is that clear? What is the use of downcasting now? Yes, it is. That's great. That's perfect. See, everyone. Actually, after this, I am having one more topic to discuss with you, that is overriding methods of object class. This is actually very simple topic that I can complete within 10 minutes. But initially, what is my demand to all of you? My demand to all of you is you are having the day of today approximately complete, tomorrow complete. 2 days I am counting. Definitely you have to prepare for your examination also. But if you are reading whatever I told you so far comfortably, then this topic can be covered in next 5 to 10 minutes. For this thing, definitely you need time. So initially, on my end, I am taking one risk. I am keeping this topic as it is. I am not touching this topic. So ultimately, I will lag by my target. But the only thing is that if you are capable to make the most of time, what I'm providing to you, if you are reading it very, very thoroughly, if you make diagrams, try to understand them, then definitely this topic you will understand very, very properly. And this is again one of the most crucial topic that will come back again when we will talk about collection framework. Overall summarization, I am not covering this topic today in the expectation that you will read till here very, very properly. Now we will meet on the day of Tuesday. On the day of Tuesday, I want all of you to read till here. Then I will come to this topic. And after this topic, for the day number 9, we are having a different target. For the day number 9, further topics include about the packages. After the packages, we will talk about one more topic that is called abstract class. And after the abstract class, some small topics are also available like variable arguments in Java and enumeration. But overall, I want to make a better understanding in your mind. So please read whatever I told you so far properly. All the best for your examination. I think for examination, everything is clear to you. MCQ paper will be available to you for the 20 minutes only. Clear everyone? MCQ paper will be available to you for the 20 minutes only, and your marks will be taken on the combination of MCQ performance as well as whatever you are doing into the coding. So please read it very, very carefully. And those who are not going through the concepts, who are not reading the topics properly, please do not expect anything from your side in week 3. Straight warning I am giving you. If you are not reading the topics properly, whatever I told you so far, please do not expect anything for you in week 3. Better if you wanted to switch the course, then you can. But if you are reading, if you are doing some hard work, then definitely no problem. I am with you every time. Sir, every topic is clear, just object array is little bit confusing while creating on method. So Madhusudan, refer to IA stand-ups. No, yesterday IA stand-up was there. Question was also there. Have you attended? Well, Faisal, feedback link, please. In the next IA stand-up, again ask, still problem exists, then you can talk to me. Then you can talk to me. Yes, everyone, you are requested to fill the feedback form and write done on chat. Rest of the things we will discuss on tomorrow. All the best for your examination. One scholar is asking in the, just a minute, line number 88. Where is the line number 88? This one. A1 is reference variable of superclass. That's why it can't print. Yes, definitely. Well, everyone, fill your feedback form. Till the time I'm stopping the recording. Happy New Year to all. I wish at least 10 lakhs per annum job in your hand by the end of 2023. Stopping the recording.